So we've just had a little bit of time here in Oman. This is day 4 of Israel attacking Iran, and a lot of people, of course, are stranded here because they don't have a way of getting out. All flights are cancelled. The only air traffic is military for Jordanian, and they are shooting down the missiles coming from Iran to Israel, but they're not shooting down the missiles that are going from Israel to Iran. That's a bit of a problem. But what we have been doing here is we've been supporting people to try and find their way out of Jordan that need to when their flights are cancelled. And what we have found is the only exit point for most of the people we know, because of it's easy to get a visa to go to Egypt. So we get our people down to Aqaba. They go from Bay to Taba by ferry, which can cost between about 50 and 80 JD. And we have been getting our people out via an agent. So once they get over to Taba, they have someone to collect them and take them to whichever airport that they want to go, Taba International or Sham El Sheikh. Sharm El Sheikh costs 105 JD for the private driver, so up to 3 people can share to get from a Taba ferry terminal to Sham El Sheikh. The other way to get out would be to go from Aqaba on the longer trip down to Nuweiba, but that also stops at Taba, and then from Nuweiba go to Sham El Sheikh. What we found also is the flights are pretty booked, so people are having to wait 1 or 2 days, but depending on how much pressure you put on them, they can bring their flights sooner, and the flights basically go to anywhere. So we just advise people to get as close to Europe, if that's European, as possible, and then they can do trains and flights from there. But the main goal is just to get people out of Jordan safely, and we have been assisting people with doing that out of Aqaba to the south. No use coming up to Oman. There are no flights. If you want to get out of the country, you can of course go to Saudi via land, but to get the Saudi visa for most people is a little more complicated than it is getting the visa over to Egypt, which is either an e-visa or a visa on arrival. But because they're just staying in the Sinai Peninsula mostly and they're in transit, I have heard that they don't charge them for a visa, but they can charge them up to $30 US for a visa. But this is very changing times. You just have to do what you can do. Stay safe, everybody. Viva resistance.